Okay, so today we are going to be making one of these little pot cozies for a little plant container. So I'll just take this out and get a better look. So basically what this is using popcorn stitch to create a little sleeve that fits around your plant pots. And these can be made any size to fit any shaped pot. The pattern's adaptable to be sort of customized. So I've got two of these little pots, and I've made one of these little cozies, but now I'm going to make one for my second pot. So to do that, what you're going to need is, I'm using 3 different colours of yarn. You can use as many as you want, and it's a great opportunity to kind of use up some scrap yarn if you've got some lying around, a pair of scissors, darning needle, and I'm using a 4mm hook. Okay, so let's move my pots over here. We're going to start with our first colour, which is for me the orange. Get rid of all the dirt. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is we're going to start by making this bottom ring of orange, which is going to go around the very bottom of our pot. Now this needs to be this needs to be done with an even number of chain stitches, and I will show you how we will do that. So, oh God, it's very mucky in it. Okay. So we take our yarn, and we're going to start by making a slip knot. Okay. We're then going to take our hook, pop it into the knot, tighten it up, and we're going to do our chain stitches. Now, when you make your chains, you're going to want to go around for it to fit around the bottom, but you don't want it to go the whole way around the bottom. What you're going to want is for it to stop slightly short, and I'll show you what I mean as I do it. Now, start with our chain stitches. Remember I said we need an even amount. So, to start, we're going to take our hook and our yarn, bring the hook in front of the yarn, catch the yarn, pull it through, and that's our first chain stitch. Same again, catch the yarn, pull it through, catch the yarn, pull it through. Now I'm going to do a few of these. Right, so that's 30 chains. Let's have a look at our pot and see how this fits. So, yep, I reckon that is probably about what we want. So maybe about 4 or 5 chains short of what you would use to sort of go the whole way around. So that's 30, which is our even number. That works nicely. Pop our hook back in. Obviously, you're going to want to use as many chains as it takes to get that circumference of the bottom of your pot. It might be 30, it might be 50, it might be 100. You just have to adapt. But that's the beauty of this pattern, is that it's perfectly adaptable, so long as you do them in an even number. Okay, so what we're going to do now, oops, I'm hooked the wrong way, there we go, is we're going to make sure our chain is nice and flat, facing upwards. We're then going to take our hook, bring it round, and pop our hook into that very first chain that we made. Okay, making sure the chain stays that same way up. Ooh, tail. We're then going to catch the yarn, pull it through, and then pull it through that final loop on the hook and do a slip stitch. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and that counts as our first single crochet, and so we can skip this very first chain. Onto the next one, we're going to pop our hook in, we're going to catch the yarn, pull it through, and then we're going to yarn over catch the yarn, pull it through both loops on the hook. Okay, and we're going to do that again. So we pop our hook into the chain, and you need to make sure you're popping it through both loops on that chain. Okay, so you're going through the top, you've got that above the hook. Now I'm going to catch our yarn, pull it through those chain stitches, so you've got 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to catch the yarn and pull it through both loops on the hook. Okay, and we're going to repeat that right the way round to the beginning. So we will have 29 single crochets. You might have a different number depending on the size of your pot. Oh goodness me. There we go. Okay, so now we've done our 29 single crochet around our entire loop. What we're going to do is take our hook and we're going to pop it into that very first chain stitch we made at the start of the round. Okay, then we're going to catch the yarn, pull it through that chain, then catch the yarn, pull that first loop through the second loop to make a slip stitch. And now we can tie it off. Take the yarn, put it through the loop, and that is the base of our pot cozy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it the other way around, and then we're going to make sure that we're working into the top. So it needs to look like it's got those 2 loops where you can see the single crochet. Okay. So I'm going to move this orange over here. It's time to bring in our second colour. I'm going to use the beige. Now, so what we're going to start doing is something called a popcorn stitch. So these puffy little shapes are what we're aiming for. So the way we create this is by stitching 5 double crochets together. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. It sounds complicated, it's actually not that bad at all. So we've got our base, and we can just pop our hook into any one of those single crochet stitches. Make a slip knot with your second colour, pop it over the hook, tighten it up, and put it through the chain. So what we're going to start by doing is chaining 2. So we go 1, 2, just the same as we did at the beginning with our chains. But now what we're going to do is make our popcorn stitch. To do that, you yarn over, pop your hook into the hole, catch the yarn and pull it through, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Okay. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, just like if you were doing a double crochet like normal. But now what we're going to do is yarn over, go back into that same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, and you'll have 4 loops on the hook. So we're going to catch the yarn and pull it through the first 2, which creates 3 loops. We're then going to yarn over, put the hook back into that same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. We'll have 4 loops on the hook left, and again we're going to yarn over, pop the hook into that same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops in the hook. We're then going to yarn over again and pull through all the loops on our hook to make a popcorn stitch. Okay, so now we chain 1, and with our base, our orange bit, we're going to skip the next stitch and pop our hook into the one after, just like so. Okay. Oh no, actually firstly what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to pop our hook into that chain. So then we catch the yarn, pull it through, and we've got 3 loops on our hook. Okay, so we yarn over, catch the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops, and that's the first bit done. Now we're going to yarn over, pop our hook back into the same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, got 4 loops on the hook. We now yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pop the hook into the hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, back into that same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pop the hook back into that same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, catch the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops on the hook. Okay, so now you can see we have 6 loops on our hook. We're then going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops at once, and then we chain 1. That's our popcorn stitch. So skip the next one, and then we yarn over, pop our hook into the next hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, catch the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops, catch the yarn, put it back into the same hole, pull the yarn through, catch the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, back into that same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, hook into the same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, and then one more time, yarn over, pop your hook into that same hole, catch the yarn, pull it through. We're then going to catch the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops on the hook, so that we've got 6 on our hook. We then yarn over, pull through all 6 stitches at once, and do a chain 1. And we're going to repeat that right the way back round to the beginning. So we're going to miss a stitch, and then do a popcorn stitch in the next one. Miss a stitch, popcorn stitch in the next. The amount of these that you do will obviously depend on the amount of single crochets you've got in your base, but you should have an even number. So okay, so we've got to the end of our first row of the popcorn stitch, going into one stitch, missing the next, and into the next, and then missing one. So what we're going to do to finish this round off is we're going to pop our hook into that last chain of our very first popcorn stitch. You can see there, one there. Then we're going to catch the yarn, pull it through, and then we're going to take that first loop and pass it through the second to make a slip stitch. So now we can tie off, snip our yarn, catch the tail and put it through the loop. Okay, so there we have our base and our first row of popcorn stitch. What we're going to do now is we're going to start to do this row of black. So we can bring in another colour. Make a slip knot. We're then going to take our hook and place it through the gap between our popcorn stitches. So this gap here, just going to pop it through. Then we can pop our yarn onto our hook, tighten it up, and put it through. Okay, so now we're going to do it just the same as we did to start the last row. We're going to chain 2. We're going to yarn over, pop our hook into the hole, catch the yarn, pull it through. We're then going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pop our hook back into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, back into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, back into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, and now we're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to go into the next gap between our popcorn stitches. So same as before, we're going to yarn over, pop our hook into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through. We're then going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, back into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through, catch the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pop our hook back into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, back into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through, catch the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, and then one more time, yarn over, back into the gap, catch the yarn, pull it through, catch the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, then that makes 6 loops on your hook. Then going to yarn over, pull through all 6 loops at once, and then we can chain 1, and then we're just going to repeat that all the way back round to the beginning. Okay, so we've got to the end of our second row of the popcorn stitches. You can see we've done it in the gap between each popcorn stitch of the previous row. So to finish this row off, same as the previous one, we're going to go into that top chain from the beginning, and we're going to do a slip stitch, and we can snip our yarn, chit and pull it through, and that is our second row done. So now what we're going to do is our third row, and we're going to bring back in that beige colour. Make a slip knot, take our hook and pop it into a gap between the popcorn stitches, the previous row. We're basically going to do exactly the same as we've done for the previous rows, and that just continues throughout. So now you can do as many rows as you need to fit the size of your pot. For mine, I'm probably going to do, I would say probably 2 more after this, and then we'll come back and we'll look at that final row where we finish it off. So I'm on this row here, I think I'll do 2 more, and then we'll rejoin back here and we'll all do this one together, this finishing stitch of orange at the top. Okay, so I've completed all of my popcorn stitches, and I've got enough rows. So what I want to do now for my little cozy is I want to make a row of single crochets around the top, just like this one. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our orange back, going to make a slip knot, and we're going to take our hook And this time what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the right side of our work is facing us, and we're going to pop our hook into one of these larger stitches along the top. So you can see that the top is made up of these smaller stitches and the larger ones. Okay, so we've got this gap here, which is a larger one, and then you've got this one here, which is a smaller one. So we're going to start off in a bigger one. We're going to pop our hook in, take our slip knot, pop it onto the hook, pull it through, and chain one. Okay. Now we're going to work back into that same large stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet. So we catch the yarn and pull it through, then yarn over and pull it through both loops on the hook. So now we get to one of the smaller stitches. So we're going to pop our hook in. Ooh, this one's a tight one. There we go. We're going to catch the yarn, pull it through to make 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull it through both. So now we're back to the larger stitch. We're going to pop our hook in, catch the yarn, pull it through, do our single crochet. And then we're going to go back into that same large stitch and do another single crochet. And we're going to repeat this the whole way around. So doing 1 single crochet into the small stitch and 2 single crochet into the large stitch. Okay, so we're just going to do that right round to the end. And the